There are beaches in Kitsap County where you can watch orca pods swim past at sunrise and not see another car in the parking lot. And I'm talking about wild, untouched shoreline. Lighthouse beaches that have been here since 1879. Hood Canal swimming holes with Olympic mountain views and ancient old growth forest 5 minutes from downtown. A former military bunker that you can actually walk through as well. Most people moving to the Seattle area have absolutely no idea these places exist. But today, I'm giving you the locals map, the one Kitsap residents don't share with outsiders. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm James Bergstrom. I'm a licensed real estate broker with Paramount Real Estate Group here in Kitsap County, Washington. I've lived and worked here long enough to know the places that locals protect, and I take my relocation clients to these spots specifically because when people see what Kitsap actually has, they stop second guessing the move. So here's the perception problem we need to fix first. Most people who've heard of Kitsap County think of it as one way. It's the place across the water from Seattle where people take the ferry. They imagine it's a collection of suburban neighborhoods and strip malls. Basically a commuter bedroom for people who can't afford King County. And that perception is completely wrong. It's pretty embarrassing actually, because Kitsap County has over 200 miles of saltwater shoreline. It has more than 10,000 acres of protected forests. It has a working lighthouse that has been guiding ships since 1879. It has the Hood Canal, a fjord-like saltwater inlet where the water gets warm enough to swim in summer while you're looking at the Olympic Mountains. It has a former US military fortification with intact concrete bunkers you can explore for free on a Tuesday afternoon. And almost none of this is crowded. You see, the parks I'm going to show you today see a fraction of the foot traffic that any comparable outdoor spacing King County gets on a Saturday morning because people don't know about them. Today, we're covering 7 hidden parks and beaches, and at the very end, I'm going to tell you something about outdoor access and home values in Kitsap that almost every out-of-state buyer completely misses until they're working with a local agent who actually knows the market. So let's go. At the very northern tip of the Kitsap Peninsula, where the land narrows to a point and the water on both sides becomes visible, that's Foulweather Bluff. This is Nature Conservancy owned land and about 100 acres of that coastal old growth forest and wild beach preserve because of its ecological importance as a migratory shorebird habitat. There are no facilities here, no restrooms, no entrance kiosk. The access road is gravel and not well marked. You have to actually look for it, and that is exactly why almost nobody goes. What you'll find, a wild beach covered in massive driftwood logs, the kind of driftwood you see in Pacific Coast photography. Sand and gravel mixed the way Puget Sound beaches actually look when nobody has groomed them, and water facing Hood Canal on the west side, Saratoga Passage on the east. On a clear day, you can see the Cascades in one direction and the Olympics in the other. It's incredibly beautiful. In early spring, you can watch thousands of shorebirds working the shoreline. In the late summer, harbor seals haul out on the beach. No fee, no permit, no reservation. You park, you walk. You have one of the most dramatic pieces of coastline in Kitsap County entirely to yourself. You see, this is the place that recalibrates people. And I've taken relocation clients here before. We've seen a single house. By the time we leave the bluff, they're no longer asking whether Kitsap is worth it. They've already answered that question. Scenic Beach State Park. It sits on the Hood Canal near Seebeck and it's established way back in 1921. And it's one of Washington's oldest state parks. It's 88 acres, about 1,481 feet of Hood Canal shoreline, with a view of Mount Constance and the Olympic Range. It's completely gorgeous there. And here's the detail that surprises people most. Hood Canal water is significantly warmer in summer than Puget Sound. It's shallow. It heats up the way a lake would. People actually swim here in July and August, real swimming, while looking at the Olympics. It's an incredible view. The old growth forest behind the beach creates shade and shelter. Trails wind through Douglas fir and cedar that are centuries old. The wildlife is consistent. Deer, osprey, bald eagles work in the canal. Day use is $10 a vehicle and camping is available. This is an established century-old state park that is quietly one of the best coastal parks in Washington. And on a weekday in July, you can have a section of that beach almost entirely to yourself. That's the Kitsap story in a miniature. Genuinely world-class, it's chronically under-recognized. If you are seriously evaluating a move to Kitsap, I put together a free Kitsap relocation guide that lays out the neighborhood by neighborhood, which gives communities walkable access to parks, trails, and waterfront. It also covers commute routes, price tiers, school districts, and the areas growing fastest. It's completely free in the link below. Plus, I have a website that's a huge resource I'd love for you to visit. It's livingbeyondseattle.com. Go check it out. It has all the resources there, plus individual city relocation guides as well. Kitsap County manages over 1,000 acres of old growth forest called Illahee Preserve in the East Bremerton area. And it sits between the city's residential neighborhoods and Illahee State Park, which provides direct beach access on Port Orchard Bay. So when I say old growth, I mean century-old Douglas fir and western red cedar, trees that were here before European settlement, and they are 5 to 10 minutes from downtown Bremerton. So multiple trailheads feeds into the preserve from surrounding neighborhoods, meaning that for people who live in the right zip codes, this forest is genuinely walkable from the home. We've got miles of trail, wildlife throughout, bald eagles, great horned owls, deer, river otters in the wetland sections. The trail network connects to Illahee State Park. It's another 75 acres with a boat launch and a small beach on Port Orchard Bay, where you can watch naval vessels transit the passage. Ancient forest, then beach, then a Navy destroyer 400 yards offshore. It's a strange and wonderful combination. So if you're evaluating neighborhoods in East Bremerton, knowing where Illahee Preserve sits relative to a given address is the quality of life information that your search algorithm will never surface for you. Manchester State Park occupies 111 acres on Rich Passage in South Kitsap. Originally, it was a U.S. military reservation established in 1898. The infrastructure still accessible today includes the remains of a torpedo wharf, a mine loading wharf, and a large concrete torpedo storage building from the early 1900s. These aren't just foundations or plaques. These are intact structures you could walk around, into, and through. The park, it has 3,400 feet of saltwater shoreline on Rich Passage. Container ships, Navy vessels, Washington State ferries, sea kayaks. The traffic through this passage is constant, and from Manchester's beach, you have an unobstructed front row seat to all of it. Tide pools are productive, sea stars, anemones, hermit crabs, the occasional octopus at extreme low tides. Historical structures are documented with interpretive signage. Day use is $10. Camping available. So for people relocating with children, this is the park that turns into a full-day adventure without requiring any planning. Beach bunkers, tide pools, maritime history, and one of the better views of the Seattle skyline from the Kitsap side. Point No Point is the northernmost tip of the Kitsap Peninsula, a sandy beach spit where Puget Sound and the Hood Canal approach meet. The U.S. Coastal Guard built the lighthouse here in 1879, making it the oldest lighthouse on the Puget Sound. It's been operational for nearly 150 years and it still works. The light still rotates, so when you stand on that beach spit at night, the beam sweeps over you like something out of a maritime novel. Gray whales follow their northern migration through here in March and April, and the JK and L pods of southern resident orca are documented visitors year-round. Harbor seals haul out on the beach regularly. Harbor porpoise are also common. So walking the spit is one of those experiences. It's magical. It doesn't happen often. So you're walking out into the water on both sides with this lighthouse at the end, and you go further out, the mainland gets further away, and the sense of being at the edge of something really grows. So on a clear day, Cascades to the east, Olympics to the west, Puget Sound extending towards Seattle to the south, Admiralty Inlet opening north, one of the best viewpoints in Western Washington, and it's free, uncrowded, and most people in the region don't even know it exists. In northern Kitsap, just south of the Hood Canal Bridge, there are 7,600 acres of managed timberland, open to the public by Rainier, part of the Kitsap Great Trail System, a 26-mile multi-use network with Hood Canal viewpoints and connections to the Port Gamble Historic District. There's no entrance fee, no reservation system. You park at one of the access points and you go. Hikers, mountain bikers, equestrians, leash dogs from the higher ridge sections, views all across Hood Canal to the Olympics that come without warning. You're in deep forest, then the trees open, and suddenly you are looking at a full panoramic view of the Olympic Range reflected in 60 miles of saltwater. So for people coming from states where public land access requires annual permits and reservation windows, Port Gamble Forest Heritage Park is almost confusingly accessible. You'll pull up, unload the bikes, and spend the day in 7,600 acres of Pacific Northwest gorgeous forest. Go hug a tree, please. Everything we covered has been about recreation and lifestyle, but here's what almost no out-of-area buyer counts for. Outdoor access in Kitsap County is not just a lifestyle variable, it's a financial variable. Park adjacency in Kitsap carries a measurable premium. Homes adjacent to Illahee Preserve, neighborhoods with deeded beach access in the Seebeck area, North Kitsap homes with direct trail access to Port Gamble Forest. These are priced differently than comparable homes without that access. But here's the part that matters. Those premiums, even where they exist, are still dramatically below what comparable access would cost in, let's say, King County for sure. And a home in East Bremerton with Illahee Preserve within a half-mile walk will cost you a fraction of what comparable forest adjacent property runs in Issaquah, Sammamish, or Snoqualmie. Deeded beach access is a specific case. When a residential community has a recorded beach easement, property owners have a legal right to access a specific section of shoreline, and that access transfers with the deed. Which neighborhoods have it and which don't is something your Zillow search will not tell you. So the reason this goes last is because it changes how you process everything else in this video. Foulweather Bluff isn't just a pretty beach, it's a quality of life anchor for North Kitsap. Illahee Preserve isn't just a trail system, it's a value driver for the neighborhoods around it. Point No Point isn't just a place to watch orca, it's the reason people move to Hansville and stay in Hansville. The parks aren't separate from the market, they are part of the market. And this is exactly why I built the Neighborhood Outdoor Access Breakdown into my free relocation guide and website, livingBeyondSeattle.com. It maps out which communities sit adjacent to protected land, which neighborhoods have deeded beach access, and which areas give you trail proximity you can actually use on a Tuesday morning. It's free. Go check it out. I'd love to hear about where you're moving as well, so make sure and hit me up too if you'd like to have a conversation. Kitsap has Foulweather Bluff, Wild Nature Conservancy, coastline at the northern tip, migratory shorebirds, massive driftwood beaches almost nobody visits. It has Scenic Beach State Park, Hood Canal swimming with Olympic views since 1921, running at a fraction of the capacity it deserves. It has Illahee Preserve, 1,000 acres of ancient forest, 5 minutes from downtown Bremerton, connecting beach access on Port Orchard Bay. It has Manchester State Park, a 100-year-old military fortification on Rich Passage with intact concrete bunkers, tide pools, and a clear day Seattle skyline view that will blow your mind. It has Point No Point, the oldest lighthouse on Puget Sound, wild beach spit, orca and gray whales within eyeshot, free to access any morning you choose, and 7,600 acres of Port Gamble Forest Heritage Park. Free access, bikes and horses are welcome. Hood Canal views appearing without warning at the ridge overlooks. That is what Kitsap County's outdoor infrastructure actually looks like, and none of it is crowded. See, the outdoor assets we covered today aren't bonus features you discover after you move here. They're part of the calculation. They're built into which neighborhoods hold value and which ones attract buyers who intend to stay, and which ones give you a quality of life you can't build by adding another room to your house. Kitsap, you see, it isn't a trade-off. For a lot of people, it's a total upgrade, not despite the outdoor access, but because of it. So grab the free relocation guide, go check out my website, livingBeyondSeattle.com, and if you want to talk about specifics about buying in Kitsap, reach out to me directly. I answer my own messages. So if you found this useful, Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next one.